Are you freaking kidding me?
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Why?
This is my home.
Hey!
Did you see your name on the list?
No, it doesn't need to be up there.
Be up there.
Hey,
It's not going to be up there.
Go.
Get
Go.
off
Get
me.
out of here.
Get off
Go.
me. Get off. Yeah. Wait till it's Saturday.
God. Did you get up?
Welcome back. I'm Taylor. There's Nick. There's Emerson. Game number 8, 7-0. Oklahoma travels to Lawrence, Kansas on Saturday. It's going to be 11 a.m. kickoff. Emerson's going to be there. Gabe's going to be there. Adam's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Nick's not going to be there.
I have to work, unfortunately.
Give me a break.
Schedule got changed last minute, and I'm not going to be able to go. That's all right, though.
It is okay. Oklahoma comes out a 38.5-point favorite. Emerson Dog, Caleb Williams and the Oklahoma offense are rolling right now. They are rolling, okay? 0 turnovers. 0 freaking turnovers.
He's got 609 yards passing, and he's got 9 touchdowns,
Nice.
0 interceptions, no turnovers whatsoever.
No fumbles, no nothing. Nothing. True freshman.
He's got 9 touchdowns. That's
9
insane.
touchdowns.
I mean, it makes sense. I just didn't even realize. I mean, that's insane.
In one
6
game
quarters of
and a
football.
half. So a game and a half, really.
They're starting to
That's
to look like Oklahoma offense. I mean, if I had to just kind of critique just a little bit, maybe lead the receivers a little better. Mechanics needs to get a little loosened up just a little bit.
He adjusted late in that game. The first couple balls, it was behind, but that still caught it. Receiver still got it. And then there was one Mike Woods should have had, but that's all right. Stockner should have had one as well, but he did progress throughout that game.
Yeah, and those. I mean, that's just going to take like developing chemistry with the with the starting wide receivers in real game time. It's different than practice. So those timing throws, he's going to get those down, and I think KU is going to be a great opportunity for them to really iron out that timing.
Yeah, and he really hasn't had a lot of reps with the first team guys. And
Exactly.
I see this game as getting your second string, third string guys progress because we got a lot of injuries in the secondary. We got Turner Yell out, we got Woody Washington still out, and we got DJ Graham out.
See,
Jalen Redmond as well on the D line.
Yeah.
So another big factor.
we actually, Gabe was going crazy when Kansas was playing Coastal Carolina there in week 2. Kansas actually, and I'm going to tell you this, they may be 1-15, fellas, but Kansas actually played Coastal Carolina for about 3 quarters. 3 quarters. He's giving me the good thumbs up back there. 3 quarters. I mean, it is what it is. They got blown out by freaking Baylor, 45-7. I actually watched some of the Duke game. They looked all right against Duke. I don't even know what Duke's record is. Do you guys?
It was a close game.
It was close until like the 4th. So yeah, again, same with Coastal Carolina. They played a good a decent 3 quarters, and then
Exactly.
just kind of fell apart.
And it's going to take a while with Kansas. It's going to take some years under a coach's belt to get things rolling again. I think they are missing Mark Mangino.
Yeah, that was a while ago, but hey, Les Miles is out the door, so I think that was the right
I'm
move.
surprised he didn't succeed.
Well, KU's a hard place to turn around.
They are,
Yeah, and Les Miles, I didn't think really fit in the Big 12 either as a coach. I mean, you can get all the athletes you want at LSU, but in Lawrence, Kansas, you gotta be creative with your coaching and your scheme in order to make that offense kind of tick and stuff. So
Yeah.
Right, and
I
all the
agree.
boosters for KU, all of it goes towards basketball too. So
Yeah.
that's just how it's going to be.
But I mean, look at Kentucky. You can be a basketball school and still have good years in football. Like it's possible. So
Well, that's that SEC money they're making.
yeah, that's true.
We'll
true.
see him in a couple years,
Yeah, we will.
or if not next year. So don't let this distract you from the fact that Kansas beat Texas in basketball in 2016. Just had to say it. I'm never gonna stop saying that.
In football?
Football. Did I say basketball?
Yeah.
Basketball, football. I'm never gonna.
But yeah, that was one of my greatest Texas memories of all time. Is
It was.
watching KU win. That was a great game. Oh my god.
I know. You know, watch us talk all this shit and us lose Saturday.
Don't say that. Because,
Okay, I mean, if you look at KU's Big 12 play, their highest offensive, performance was
right.
against Texas Tech, and they put up 14 points. So Baylor they put up 7, and Iowa State they put up 7. So
Dude, they did.
I mean, really, this isn't. I wouldn't say this is a good measuring stick for the defense, but I would say it's a good opportunity for the defense to be dominant and get back on track.
Yeah, and especially with our guys out. I don't know how long everybody's still out for the defense. Do you know?
I'm not
have
too
they put
sure.
a time frame on that?
DJ Graham's probably coming back. Maybe next week would be kind of pushing it, but he would probably be eligible.
Okay.
I've heard, yeah, there's nothing really official on it, but I mean, with Jalen Redmond, he could be coming back in the next couple weeks. Same with Woody Washington potentially. So yeah.
What about Turner
No
Yell?
one's ever given
I
it.
really don't know too much about his injury.
I haven't heard any. Is it even? I think it's a hamstring. So I don't know. I haven't heard anything on DTY. So it's a good. I mean, he's probably our best safety. So.
90.
But like you said, it'll be a good opportunity for backups to get reps and, for the defense to get their communication down and their pre-snap checks and work on tackling. No matter who you play, you still got to tackle. So
Right.
it'll be a good opportunity for them to get some practice on
Yeah,
that.
a guy that you were high on in the summer, Emerson, was Joshua Eaton. I remember you were telling me about him in the summer, and I'd like to see him get some reps at corner because his form looked really good against TCU, but unfortunately he gets that ball snagged from him. But he's there. He's in the right
Yeah.
spot to make that play.
Yeah, exactly. Everything up to the ball getting to the guy he's defending was great on that play. And then, I mean, granted, the guy that he's going against is probably going to be a first or second rounder in the NFL.
Yeah, he's
that guy's
good.
just a freak.
He is good.
So, but still, you got to make the play. That's why you're at Oklahoma.
Right.
So, yeah, I'd like to see Josh Eaton get some good runs at it. So,
Yeah,
for
he's
sure.
over 6 foot too, and he's got some good size that Alex Grinch recruited, and I like that. He's just one of those guys.
Is there anything specific that you guys want to see from the defense on Saturday that you didn't
Stuff.
see against TCU?
Stuff to run and make plays in the defensive backfield. Get your guys progress,
Yeah.
gain confidence in this game.
I want at least 2 turnovers, and I want good tackling. I mean, the defensive line should be able to overwhelm Kansas's offensive line, and they should be. And granted, I mean, Kansas, they've got a pretty athletic quarterback. So from what I've seen, in the Coastal Carolina game and the Duke game, he can move a little bit. So yeah, I want to see the defensive line get after him and force him into bad decisions, and I want the guys on the back end to capitalize.
Yeah, and we can't overlook Kansas. Don't come to the game like you've already won it because they're not going to lay down for you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Right.
What year was it? Oh. What year was it? I think it was 2000. It was 2013 when we went into Kansas and it was a sloppy ass win.
Oh my gosh, I know exactly what you're talking
Do you remember
about.
that?
Yeah.
That was the year we beat Alabama.
God, that was such a rough stretch of games because that Oklahoma State game was crazy as well. We had to fake a field goal to win that game. Blake Bell comes in and almost
Honeycutt got
throws a
laid
pick.
out in the end zone and fumbled it in the end zone, but it was a touchdown still.
Yeah. Blake Bell comes in late. throws
That's a
to
good
Jalen
point.
Saunders.
Do what, Emerson?
I mean, that's a good point, Reed. I mean, even with when Jalen Hurts was at Oklahoma, and even last year with Spencer Rattler, weird things. I'm not saying the game is always close, but weird things do happen in Lawrence. Like, I remember right before going into halftime with Jalen Hurts, like there was a bunch of weird stuff that happened in the red zone for like 2.5 drives, like turnovers on both sides, and then. Spencer Rattler last year, he runs it in for a touchdown and gets a stinger in his hip. And
That was
he
against
looks,
Kansas,
you
wasn't
know,
it?
Yeah, he looks uncomfortable for the next 2 weeks throwing the ball. So, I mean, Kansas can't affect the game, and they can have, you still got to line up and play people, and it's a physical game, so anything can happen. And, You know, you just definitely don't want to see anyone get hurt, any more injuries pile up, and you want to see Oklahoma take care of business.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. Because I mean, this could be one of those games to where they overlook Kansas and they come out sluggish and something bad could happen.
Well, it's like, as an OU fan, it's like I've almost seen everything with this team, but they can screw things up quick.
Dude, yeah, they can.
I've seen a lot of ups and downs being an OU fan, as dominant as they have been.
Or
It's
whenever
not
they're
always
not
pretty.
motivated. Whenever they
Yes,
don't care, they're not
that's the thing.
motivated. Just,
And Oklahoma's the team with the target on their back
All the time.
in the Big 12. I mean, they are.
All the time.
So everyone's going to be up to play Oklahoma. So, any given Saturday, anything can happen.
Mm-hmm. So the offense, honestly, I want to see a dominant performance by the offense on Saturday. I want to see Spencer Rattler get in the game and play solid. And Nick was saying that earlier, and I'm not just saying that because Nick said that earlier and I thought about it. Well, that's kind of why I'm saying it, I guess. But I agree
It
with
was
that.
fresh in your mind.
Exactly. So I really want to see Spencer get in there, get some confidence back, get some good reps in, get some good passes in, because who knows? Caleb Williams could go out. He could get injured later on in the season. I know, God forbid that happens, but you want a solid backup quarterback. And we've actually been blessed the last handful of years, with Baker Mayfield, then you have Kyler Murray as a backup, and then you have
the son of Baker and Kyler, Caleb Williams.
Yeah, there was a meme on I think it
I saw
it
that.
was
That's
Lincoln
hilarious.
Riley's Army is what that was. Was that what
Probably. You shared it to me.
Facebook post that was? I can't remember.
Dude, it's crazy because his pick does look like Baker and Kyler just merged together. It's
It does.
freaking
It
weird.
does.
Hold on, but who gave him the size though? Who made him 6'4", 230?
Yeah.
Jalen. That's Jalen's Kentucky.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. None of us really took any notes. Emerson, did you take any notes on this one? Me and Nick didn't.
No, with what you're saying with the offense, Caleb Williams hasn't had a turnover yet, and he's had 9 touchdowns. Obviously, you want to see him continue that streak. Obviously, have a clean game with no turnovers. And honestly, if Oklahoma isn't taking care of business to where Spencer Rattler plays, the entire second half, it's a disappointment. If Oklahoma gives up more than a touchdown, it's a disappointment. If Oklahoma doesn't put up 50 points, it's a disappointment. Those are the expectations against a team of this caliber. No disrespect to Kansas, but that's just the fact of the matter. And I do believe Lance Leopold will get things going in the right direction, but it's going to take a lot of time. So, those are the expectations that I have for the game.
If you want, what's a comfortable score for you? What would you accept? Putting them on the spot.
I will accept. Okay, definitely want them to cover the spread, which is asking a lot because
38.5.
Oklahoma's only done that once this year.
Yeah,
and that's a big spread. That's a big spread. But I'm going to go ahead and predict that they cover. I'm going to go 54 to 10.
50,
Okay.
That's my
54 to 10. Is that what you think it will be, or what you want it to be, or both?
That's what I think it will
Okay.
be. That's what I think it will be. And like I said, I would like the defense to not give up double digits. But, the way that, the last 2 games that they've had, they haven't played well. So, we'll see. Especially with, mobile quarterbacks
Oh,
that,
I know.
can kind of get out of the pocket
know.
and throw and run. So,
Nick?
I'm going to say this game's going to be 52 to 14. And I'm going to say that the second string defense gives up the score late in the game. So it's really nothing to worry about. But I do want to see this defense execute, make tackles, make the plays in the defensive backfield, linebackers coming down, keeping the leverage and making the first contact, bringing them down. D linemen to dominate. Second team D-line, dominate. OU's run game, stick to it. Maybe get Eric Gray a little bit more involved, more progressed. And receivers to just make plays. last week was the first week that I saw them using almost everyone, and I was expecting a breakout player, and Jaden Hazelwood happened to be the guy with the hat trick.
Oh yeah.
The last guy to have 3 touchdowns in a game was CeeDee Lamb. So
Damn, really?
I wanted to see a guy break out. I wanted to see Hazelwood break out and show
2019.
his potential as a 5-star recruit. So that was nice. I'm glad that I got that. I want him to build off that. And Marvin Mims had his game in the second half against Texas. So we'll see what this receiving core can be, because I think they have so much potential. Stogner's the guy that needs to kind of awake, and he's going to be there. He's going to be a good target for us in the future. And there was a guy, number 81, Trayvon West, who had a lot of speed. He had 1 catch, but I want to see this guy on the field because he has some elite speed, and I loved it. So that's just some things that I'm looking out for. Oklahoma receivers to break out, and Caleb Williams to just progress off that.
Sweet. Sounds good.
I agree, Nick, and that's a great point with Trayvon West. A lot of people forget he almost had to leave the team during the offseason because of personal reasons. I don't know if it was something with his family or whatever, but he was away from the team for about a month before he came back, and was able to get back into the program and get back on the practice field. So I'm happy to see him have success, and I'm happy for Jaden Hazelwood to be, becoming that 5-star that we've all waited for, because obviously, with the injury, it's not his fault, but it's nice to see him coming into fashion. And I don't think like Jaden Hazelwood's going to be like that burner deep threat that's just going to go for a 75-yard strike. That's not him. He's more of a big guy that'll body people in the red zone and catch balls that are highly contested and in tight windows. So, and that's exactly what he did against TCU, and I'd like to see him continue that and that chemistry to develop with Caleb Williams.
Right, I love that. He really solidified himself as a red zone target, and we need that. It can't just be Kennedy Brooks, pounding it and running a speed option with Caleb and Kennedy Brooks. But Stogner's another guy that needs to kind of step up in the red zone because he's got that potential. I was disappointed he dropped that ball, but it was cool to see Caleb Williams just shake it off and smile and get to the next play.
Yeah. That's great, and that's exactly how you got to be as a quarterback at Oklahoma. It's always next play. And that's a great point, with Stogner. He has been relatively quiet. Obviously coming back from that injury, that life-threatening injury earlier in the offseason. And I'll remind you, he got hurt in the Kansas game. Those kind of games can have an effect on the team like that. Last year, he got hurt and he was gone for the rest of the season. So, those are the kind of things that you don't want to see happen. And it's going to come down to Caleb Williams throwing smart balls to receivers in space that aren't going to get chopped down, below the knees.
Right.
By some, short cornerback or safety.
Right.
Like a guy like Austin Stogner who's like 6'8" or whatever.
And I'm glad that you brought up the Spencer Rattler coming in the second half and just balling out and gaining confidence, because football is such a nasty, aggressive sport. There's going to be
it's political.
Cheap shots.
It's political as
Yeah.
crap too.
There's going to be cheap shots that, Williams is already down on the play, and a 350-pound D lineman comes and smashes him because, screw this guy. So.
Yeah, what does KU have to lose?
Nothing.
Yeah. What do they have to lose? Exactly.
Well, it just goes to any team in the future. Like, there's dirty players, just like, there's people in certain professions that, are bad apples. It doesn't matter where you go. There's always going to be bad people out there, and unfortunately, there's bad coaches, bad players that just want that on people. So,
And no matter what, as a fan, and I know that Emerson and Nick agree with me, no matter how much we hate rivals of Oklahoma, we never hope any of these guys get injured. You know what I mean? That's not something to wish on anybody. You know what I mean?
right.
I think that's messed up. Okay, well, we're kind of rattling on now. Fellas, Nick, do you have anything as we wrap it up here?
Just see the second team guys progress and not give up too many big plays. I know they're young, but they're at OU for a reason, and I believe in them, and the coaching staff believes in them too. So,
Okay. Emerson, do you got anything as we wrap it up?
No, I think I've said my piece.
Cool.
Play a clean game.
Sounds good. Alrighty, well, Saturday, ESPN, 11 a.m. kickoff. Be there, be square. We're all going to be there besides the square. Boomer Sooner, see you this weekend.
Boomer Sooner.
Boomer Sooner.